What's up, everybody? How many of you guys have tried doing something that required you to be in pretty decent shape, thinking you're in pretty good shape? Then you turn around and go, "Yeah, I need to get in a lot better shape." Well, that's me right now. Um, and actually, it wasn't that bad. I ain't gonna lie, I am a little sore. We only made it to the halfway point, technically, um, because, man, I'd like to tell my buddy one more time, Rick. Thanks again, dude. Appreciate you. And if it wouldn't have been for me calling it off, we would have pushed through the night. However, I made the decision that I really wanted to call it off, and told him, dude, I'm done. I want to call it off. There was a few excuses I had, and reflecting back on it today, um, I probably should have went ahead and pushed through with it. Uh, but I kept thinking, why do I need to put myself in a survival type of situation when it's not necessary? Why put myself potentially in a dangerous situation when it's not truly necessary at this point in time? Uh, and I had made a few bad decisions along the way, anyways, that helped me, um, you know, be in a worse spot than we really needed to be in. So you live and learn, I guess. I did learn a lot. Um, I learned that I definitely need to go through my bag again, decide what I truly need, how much of it I truly need, and I'd like to add a couple things to it now. Um, and I've actually ended up taking out my bladder and my water bag, and because that holds basically 4 water bottles, 20-ounce bottles, and I can fit 6 actual bottles into there, and then it makes a really comfortable pillow actually. And then I have the plastic bottles to refill or use for some other things along the way too. So I don't know if that's a good idea, but it seems like a good idea. That's what I was trying yesterday. One of the reasons I called it off, I don't know if I already said it or not, but I'll repeat it if I did, because uh, I'd been watching the weather all day because several people had been warning me that we had some really bad weather coming, and turns out we did. We got some phone calls on the way. They were having 70-mile-an-hour straight winds, clouded ground lightning like crazy all over the place, tornado warnings all over the place, and especially where we were. Then softball size hail, tennis ball size hail in some places. And so I didn't really feel like getting beat up that bad, because I'd made a bad decision already to push on a little further because I really wanted to make the halfway point. Uh, that way, you know, for one, I'd really wanted, that's where I really wanted to set up camp at. And for two, it's halfway. So then I can get, the rest of the way home the next day, basically, is what I was thinking in my head. Well, making that big push um, got us into dark, and it got us into, storm was upon us. We weren't getting hit yet, but it was real close. And so we weren't going to have time to set up, a really good shelter. And there was an abandoned house there along the route, but I don't have permission to get into it. A survival situation, I wouldn't care. But an everyday situation, you know, I don't really want to have to deal with that and trying to explain to them why I'm sleeping in this house if they showed up. Didn't seem like the didn't seem like the best idea in the world at the time. So uh, just all that combined, I kind of threw in the towel. I was the weak link. So from here on out, I'm going to do a little bit more training, and I'm going to follow my route again. This is just one route. Follow this route again, and we stopped every hour and took a break. Bug out Bushido told suggested that, and I'm glad he did, because that was a lifesaver, honestly, as far as the walking was going. I could have walked probably the entire route doing it that way with no real issues. I'm sure the next day I would have been sore, of course, but it gave you enough of a break to just keep pushing on, and nothing really got the bug in me while we was walking. So that was a great suggestion. I really appreciate it. But I'm gonna go this route, and that way I know every hour I make it X amount of distance, because we ended up walking a lot slower than I thought we would have. And that was kind of my fault, because I'd planned it out in my head that we could leisurely all walk it, and so my timing was off a little bit, and a lot of it. So we really had to high gear it a little bit there toward the end. But I can go back through this route now, and pick me out different locations so that I can have a better idea where we can set up at, each hour on the mark. That way, if we know or we see weather's moving in, we can set up there instead of pushing. And I should have done that in the first place, but it is what it is. So at least I gave it a shot, and learned some stuff from it, a lot of stuff, and kind of figured out some different ways that maybe I may have to go because of the dogs and everything like that, because we were accosted by a couple dogs. Two of them followed us for a half a mile, damn near. So from the corner to their house, which they followed us, kind of coming up, barking and sniffing, just checking us out, I guess. But it's two big dogs, so wasn't really the funnest. I was like, come on, man, get out of here. But yeah, we learned a lot. And that walk would have been a lot longer and tougher if I wouldn't have had somebody with me, because you're talking, so the time goes pretty fast. But Rick, once again, man, he pushed and he pushed, and he was going to keep pushing. So I'm glad he's the guy I'm going to be walking this with and doing this with, because I know he's going to be there. We didn't even need to have to do this, and he was willing to keep pushing. And he proved to me and everybody else around, as far as I'm concerned, that if you're willing to do that when you don't have to, and you push that hard, if you get into a situation, I know you're going to push that hard to continue to get where we need to go. So that was a good experience. I look forward to doing it again, actually. And even if the weather's going to be that bad, I may just have a contingency plan to where if I know it's going to be that bad, I'll have a better location to stop and get an earlier start on building me some sort of shelter, and or getting permission to actually stay in that abandoned house, and then kind of go from there, see what I can plan out. And hopefully by the end of before summer gets here, hopefully I could try to make this journey one more time, and everything like that. I appreciate y'all supporting me on the idea and everything. Sorry I didn't make the whole trip. Try it again though. It was fun, learned a lot. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care.